Over €200 a year. That's what I was paying just to store my files, family photos, tax documents, house contracts, on servers in the United States, governed by US law, and with the Cloud Act, that means US authorities can request access to your data, even if you're sitting right here in Europe. That bothered me more than the money, so I went looking for a European alternative. I tested Proton Drive, I looked at Tresorit, and then I found pCloud, a Swiss company, 22 million users, running since 2013. And they offer something almost nobody else does: lifetime plans, pay once, store forever. I signed up, migrated everything, and I've been using it as my primary cloud storage since. This video is my honest breakdown: what's genuinely good, what still bothers me, and whether it's worth your money. There's also one thing about their security setup that most reviews gloss over. We'll get to that. But first, the features that actually matter. The virtual drive. This is the feature that surprised me most. pCloud creates a drive on your computer. All your cloud files show up, but they don't take up local storage. You browse them like regular files, they stream from the cloud, and on a decent connection it feels like working locally. If you shoot in RAW, keep edited exports and store large TIFFs for prints. Your local drive fills up fast. With Google Drive, I was constantly managing what to sync and what to keep online only. With pCloud, my entire photo library is accessible without eating into my laptop's storage. Everything is just there. Block level sync. You modify a file, pCloud uploads only the bytes that changed, not the whole thing. Re-exported a batch of photos in Lightroom? Instead of re-uploading gigabytes, pCloud pushes the diff. That's the difference between 30 seconds and 30 minutes. The migration tool. pCloud can pull files directly from Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, and even Google Photos, all through the web interface. No downloading locally first. My migration took a few hours instead of a full weekend. Media streaming. Built-in player that streams music and video directly from the cloud. I use it mostly to preview photos. For actual music and video playback, I prefer dedicated apps, but having quick previews without downloading is useful. File versioning. 30 days of file history on paid plans. There's an add-on that stretches that to a full year. I've needed it exactly once. Overwritten a batch of edited exports. Didn't realize until days later. One rollback saved me hours of re-editing. That single moment paid for the feature. Cross-platform support. Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, pCloud works consistently across all of them. The mobile apps are polished. They don't feel like an afterthought, which is rare for cloud storage. Pulling up my photo library on my phone to show someone a print-ready file without downloading anything, that's the kind of thing that just works. One thing worth mentioning, pCloud now integrates with OnlyOffice for document editing. It's not Google Docs. Don't expect real-time collaboration, but you can edit documents, spreadsheets, and presentations directly inside pCloud. A year ago, that wasn't possible. Features aside, two things actually set pCloud apart from every other provider on this list. One saves you money, the other has a catch you need to know about. Most cloud storage works on subscriptions, monthly, annual, and every year the price creeps up while your storage needs keep growing. If you're a photographer, that's a real problem. Only gets bigger. pCloud offers a different deal. Pay once, keep your storage for life. No renewals, no price increases. The 2 terabyte lifetime plan is €399. The 500 gigabyte plan is $199, and the 10 terabyte plan is $1,200. Is that a lot up front? Sure, but do the math. Google One charges roughly $120 a year for 2 terabytes. You break even on the pCloud lifetime plan in about 3.5 years. After that, it's free storage for as long as the company exists. And yes, that's the risk. pCloud is a private company. No public financials. If they disappear, your storage goes with them. But 13 years in operation, their own data centers, 0 major data breaches, I decided that track record was enough. I still keep local backups of my most critical files, especially my raw photo archive. You should too, regardless of which provider you use. Now, security. And this is the part I mentioned earlier. pCloud encrypts your files with AES 256-bit at rest and TLS in transit, industry standard, solid. But here's what they don't put on the marketing page. By default, pCloud holds the encryption keys. They can access your files, or be compelled to by a court order. For true zero-knowledge encryption, where nobody, not even pCloud, can see your data, you need a paid add-on called pCloud Crypto. Lifetime price, $150. Should this be included by default? Yes. Competitors like Tresorit and Proton include it as standard, but pCloud's approach does give you a choice. I keep sensitive files, contracts, tax documents, financial records in separate local storage. My photo and media library, standard encryption is more than enough. For context, pCloud ran a public $100,000 bounty challenge. Over 2,800 participants. Is solid. You just have to be intentional about using the crypto folder for files that need it. Now here's where the EU angle really matters. pCloud is headquartered in Bar, Switzerland. Some of the strictest data protection laws in the world. Your data falls under the Swiss Federal Act on Data Protection, which aligns closely with GDPR. When you sign up, you choose between two data regions, Dallas, Texas, or Luxembourg. Pick Luxembourg. This matters. If you don't choose the EU data center at sign-up, moving your data later costs $19.99. pCloud also owns its data centers. No AWS, no Google Cloud, no Azure. That means no third-party provider in the chain who might be subject to US jurisdiction. One important distinction though, privacy and security are not the same thing. pCloud's standard encryption is strong, but without the crypto add-on, pCloud staff could theoretically access your files if compelled by Swiss authorities. With crypto, even pCloud can't see what's in your encrypted folder. If privacy is your top priority, not just security, you want that add-on. But for most people storing everyday files, Swiss jurisdiction, EU servers, standard encryption, that's already a massive step up from Google or iCloud under US law. Here's the thing about pCloud's interface. It stays out of your way. Clean, not stripped down. Everything you need is a click or two away. The desktop app drops straight into File Explorer on Windows or Finder on Mac. No learning curve. Thumbnails and previews load quickly, even in folders with hundreds of photos, which is how most of my folders look. The web interface holds up too. I spent a full week without my main computer and managed everything through the browser. No limitations. The mobile apps are worth calling out. Automatic camera upload runs quietly in the background. No battery drain, no notifications. Every photo I take gets backed up without me thinking about it. You can make files available offline for flights or poor connectivity. And the media player remembers where you left off. Small thing. Adds up. Where pCloud falls short. Sharing. No right-click share link from the desktop app. You have to open the web interface, find the file, generate a link from there. If you share files regularly, that extra step gets old fast. Speed is where pCloud quietly impresses. Independent tests consistently rank it near the top. Faster than Google Drive in most comparisons. 5 GB folder on a 100 megabit connection? About 7 minutes. Gigabit connection? Roughly 2. But the real story is consistency. Some cloud providers throttled during peak hours. pCloud held steady no matter when I tested. Block level sync makes a real difference here too. Editing large files across multiple devices, changes propagated in seconds rather than minutes. When I shared large files, others reported download speeds comparable to dedicated file transfer services. Not perfect. I noticed some slowdown with very large individual files on the gigabit test, but nothing that would stop me from recommending it for everyday or professional use. Here's what it actually costs. Subscriptions paid annually. 500 gigabytes, $49.99, 2 terabytes, $99.99, 10 terabytes, $199.99. Lifetime plans, one-time payment, 500 gigabytes, $199, 2 terabytes, $399, 10 terabytes, $11.90. Add-ons, pCloud Crypto, $49.99 a year or $150 lifetime. Extended file history, additional cost. The free tier gives you 10 gigabytes. You start at 2 and unlock more by completing tasks like verifying your email. 10 gigs sounds stingy next to Google's 15, but Google's 15 is shared across Gmail, Drive, and Photos. Most people have far less than 15 gigs of actual drive space. Still, 10 gigs is enough to test the interface, not enough to test with real files. the value play is obvious. If you're using cloud storage for more than 3 to 4 years, and who isn't, the lifetime plan wins overwhelmingly. One tip: pCloud runs aggressive discounts on Black Friday, Valentine's Day, and seasonal events. I've seen lifetime plans at 40 to 50% off. If you're not in a rush, wait for a sale. So how does it stack up against the alternatives? Google Drive and Google One. Google wins on collaboration, docs, sheets, real-time co-editing, unmatched. But Google's business model is built on your data. If you want EU jurisdiction with no data mining, pCloud is the stronger choice, and the lifetime plan makes it dramatically cheaper long-term. Proton Drive. Zero knowledge encryption by default, no add-on needed. If privacy above all else is your priority, Proton is hard to beat, but no lifetime plans, limited storage options, and it lacks pCloud's media features and virtual drive. Tresorit. Excellent for businesses, strong encryption, admin controls, Microsoft integration, but significantly more expensive, no lifetime option. For individuals or small teams, pCloud offers more value. IceDrive. Also offers lifetime plans and a similar virtual drive. Solid competitor on price, but pCloud has a longer track record, larger user base, and more mature apps. iCloud and OneDrive. Convenient if you're all in on Apple or Microsoft, but neither prioritizes European data sovereignty, and both lock you into subscriptions. Bottom line, no single provider does everything best. pCloud's sweet spot is the combination: EU hosting, lifetime pricing, solid performance, good media features, Swiss privacy law. So here's where I've landed. What improved my setup? No more recurring cloud storage bills. The virtual drive freed up space on my laptop without managing syncs. And when your photo library is full of raw files, holiday videos, and large TIFFs, that matters. Migration from Google Drive was painless. And knowing my files sit in an EU data center under Swiss law, that's peace of mind I didn't have before. What still bothers me? The crypto add-on should be included, especially for a service that positions itself as privacy-focused. No right-click sharing from the desktop app, daily annoyance, and the free tier is too small to properly test the service. Who is this for? Individuals or small teams tired of subscriptions who want their data in Europe. pCloud is the strongest option right now. If you're a photographer or creative who needs affordable long-term storage for large files, the virtual drive plus lifetime pricing is hard to beat. Who should look elsewhere? If you need zero knowledge encryption on everything without thinking about it, Tresorit or Proton Drive. If real-time collaboration is core to your workflow, Google Workspace. If you need enterprise admin controls, Tresorit's business plans are more mature. For me, it was the right move. Your situation might be different, but you've got enough information to decide. Remember that €200 a year I was paying? I spent $3.99 once, haven't paid a cent since. That's my honest take on pCloud. Free tier in the description if you want to test it. No credit card needed. It is an affiliate link, so signing up through it supports this channel at no extra cost to you. If you want more honest reviews of European tech products, subscribe. I always show both sides. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.